Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm bringing you a new game called Path of Exile. It's a game by Grinding Gear Games and is currently in beta. It's been in beta for quite a while now, but it just now entered open beta, and so I got my hands on it and have been playing it some. I've really been enjoying it. I'm just going to say that straight up. It's been a fantastic game so far. If you enjoyed Diablo 3 and that dark, gritty kind of gameplay, the hack and slash, I think you'll find this game is a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a lot like Diablo 3 or Torchlight, but from what I've been hearing from the people who have played both, it might even be a bit better than Diablo 3. It certainly doesn't have as many bugs. So you start off as one of 6 characters, and there's first of all a Templar, who is a kind of combination of magic and also stave and staff weapons. Then you have the Shadow class, which is the class that I'm playing as right now. It's a assassin type class, dual wield weapons or daggers and such. And then there is the Marauder. He is just the heavy brute class, melee, shields, heavy armor, that sort of thing. And then you have the Ranger, who is obviously the range class, bows and things like that. Then there's the Duelist, who is a combination of dexterity, strength, and also some of the Assassin class as well. He's a combination character. And then finally you have the Witch, who's a mainly magic character and whose weapons are mainly spells and also your wand. Alright, so after you pick a character, you enter your name. I've already done that, and I have a level 10 Shadow, as he's called, which is the assassin type class. Alright, so as you can see, you start off in the encampment, in the shore encampment. The story of the game is that you're a prisoner and you have committed a crime, but you're given a second chance on this encampment. You're given a weapon, and then your boat crashes, so you have to fight your way to the encampment and then do some various quests from there. The graphics of this game are very good, especially for free to play and in beta. As you can see, I can zoom in right there and get all the character detail of all the armor. You can really tell what kind of armor you're wearing, not just a basic plain like chainmail or playmail armor. So you can see around here there are the quest givers, Nessa, Bestel, and this guy Tarkle, I believe. You can also go to the notice board here for some more options of what to do, and then your stash. Everyone can use this. It's not like a community stash, it's your own private stash, only you can see what's in it, but you can store your items in here. So until you unlock the ability to use them, you level up, or maybe if you just want to change your class later on. But as you can see, the inventory slots are, I think, creatively designed. It's not just a weight-based inventory. It's an inventory where you have to try to fit all of your items into specific slots. So it really helps to actually plan out how you're going to put your items in. As you can see, I can really condense them down a lot and leave more room. Unfortunately, you can't turn them sideways. You can only have a vertical inventory slot. There is also your weapon slots right here. There's one weapon, say I'm using a bow, and then I can also have a quiver as my secondary. The quiver adds, as you can see here, lightning damage or fire damage or frost damage. Then you have your helmet, your chest plate, your boots, gloves. You have 2 rings, one for each hand, which I think is cool. If you've ever played Skyrim, I was kind of annoyed with the only 1 ring limit. It didn't really make any sense. Then you also have a chain belt. Mine adds 13 to maximum energy shield. And then your amulet, which has 23% increased mana regeneration. So that's my setup right now. I'm running a more lightweight ranged class, or I can also go to my second inventory slot or my second class, which is cool. You don't have to just switch out your weapons. You can do a quick 1-2, just click on what you want. And then my second one is the mace and the claw. So I'm gonna go out here and just fight some enemies. I'm on a quest right now, but for some reason I got lagged back to the beginning. There is some random cutouts of you might get disconnected or something like that, but it is a beta. It does have problems, but at least you can get into the game most of the time. The loading screens aren't that bad. This one, there we go, not too long, and considering the world is a really big world. Alright, so the combat is also a lot of fun. It's very gritty, gory, as you can see. There's all kinds of blood. These enemies are the basic enemies. They're not too challenging, but once you do get some more challenging enemies, as you can see, the health is in the bottom left and your mana is in the bottom right. On the left, you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots for your potions, health potions, and mana potions. The cool thing with this is you don't have to buy or find new potions. You regain your potions by actually killing enemies. So I can use up that number 1 slot that uses it all up. Since it's a very small flask, I hit it about 3 times. But then if I were to kill enemies, that'll fill back up. So if you're stuck on a hard boss or hard enemies and you're not killing anyone, you're a lot more likely to die. That's one of the only complaints I have about this game. Is so far it's not been very challenging. I'm up to level 10 and I haven't died yet. I've come close to dying, but not quite yet. As you can see, I also have special abilities in the bottom right, and there are certain things like poison arrows, and if I were to hit E, a ground smash, or R, which are more arrows. These you get by collecting gems. Ethereal knives, this one is called. Ground slam is the red one. And split arrow you can equip into your either weapon, or you can also equip into your armor slots, which it really makes it a lot more interesting rather than just having maybe 2 per weapon. Each weapon also has different number of slots. Here's an example. The skinning knife only has 1 slot and it's blue. So when you find gems, like this gem right here is the freezing pulse gem, it deals 9 to 13 cold damage. You can equip it onto your bow, or I could equip it onto another slot that has a blue slot, like these claw fists. So I'm also running a dual wield 2-weapon class as well as my bow class. It really seems to work well for this character, and it's really, like I said, a gritty and really fun hack and slash kind of combat. So I'll just show off. There is also the multiple arrow shot and the ground slam, which really works well for multiple enemies because you can stun them and knock them back some. So after I kill some of these enemies, they drop. Certain enemies drop something like portal scrolls. Portal scrolls you can use to teleport back to the home base on the encampment. There's also a scroll of wisdom, which is basically the currency in this game. You can also get scraps of the scroll by selling things. You get 1 scrap for basic items you sell, and you might get more as the more rare the item is. And then once you get 5, you can use that to combine a scroll of wisdom. Another thing that the scroll of wisdom does is when you find certain weapons or certain armor, you may not know what they are. They are unidentified and you can't use them until you use the scroll of wisdom. You just right click on the scroll and then left click on the item you want to identify. The thing that you see in the top right under the minimap, which by the way you can take off and on depending on whether you like that sort of thing. I find it's a lot easier to have it just because the view of this game kind of makes it challenging to get your whereabouts if you don't know where you're going. But after you've played a couple times through, once you've gone through the area, you really get to know where you're going, and the map isn't as necessary. But below the map, there's a thing, the gem level up. Right now I can't level up the gem because I may not have the right strength or dexterity, but whenever I do have the right amount of strength or dexterity, I can level up, or intelligence, whatever it may be, I can level up the gem and make it more powerful. I do that by actually using the gem, and then whenever I use it, it might increase the speed or the damage or something like that. Along the way of these levels, There's also chests, as you can see here, iron greaves, driftwood wand. These are really basic chests. They don't give you a lot of good stuff. Sometimes the most valuable thing you may find after you've been through a couple times is a scroll of wisdom or a portal scroll or something like that. So unfortunately there's not much variety in the drops. But the boss fights, the enemies that you kill later on once you get the quest information, they drop more rare items. Now this right here is a blacksmith's whetstone, and this improves the quality of a weapon. So I don't have to actually go back to the encampment and go to the blacksmith. I can just do this right here if I want to. Let's say I just want to improve this bow. I think one weird thing about this game, and another, like, it is in beta, but you have to take the item out of your inventory, unequip all the gems, and then right click and then left click to improve it. So it's kind of an awkward thing to just be able to do that. I think you should just be able to click and then click again and have it equipped. But like I said, it is a beta, so it has its issues. Alright, so I'm going to show off the bow some. There's a fireball, another gem. The gem drops also come from enemies. This is the bow. As you can see, you might be able to tell whenever it hits an enemy, there's an explosion of lightning. That's because the quiver I have is the lightning quiver and deals 1 to 5, I believe, lightning damage. So that's really effective for certain types of enemies. Later on, you may find skeletons or something like that. The skeletons aren't actually affected by knockback or by certain things like, I think they're more affected by fire, but they're not so much affected by lightning or frost. So as I go along here, there's also some corpses which just things like that really add a lot more detail to the game. All the driftwood, the right around here, the blood on the ground, the tarps, all these people who have certain encampments set up really add more to the game. And right now I can use the poison arrow, is what you just saw there. It poisons enemies, but it doesn't actually poison all enemies. It's more of a human and animal poison, but for the undead it doesn't poison them as much. And I also have the multiple arrow shot, which is right here. That's the multiple arrow shot, and you can hit multiple enemies with that, as the name suggests. Another spell or a gem item that I have is the raise zombie right there. I can raise the zombie and he'll fight for me. He doesn't have a lot of damage, or well, he has a lot of damage, but he doesn't have a lot of health or attack speed, but he will still do a large amount of damage and acts as a kind of distraction. So I can run over here and hopefully he'll do some fighting while I show off the thing that I just found, glass blowers bobble. Oh, I'm getting hit by fire. I actually haven't found this one before. It just shows the amount of weapon drops there are. Right click this item, then left click at flask to apply it. So it improves the quality of a flask. The flasks are, like I said, the things that the life flasks or the mana flasks. So I think I will have to take this into my inventory actually. No, it's fine. I can just equip it from there. But I can right click, left click, and that just improved the quality of it. So it might be faster mana recovery, and that's what I did here. And then it shows the recovery time and the charges. So there's no charge on this one so far because I unequipped it and I haven't killed anyone. But as I actually kill enemies, it should fill up slowly, and as it fills up, then I can be able to use it. I think I actually have to kill enemies with mana spells rather than just regular attack spells. Now I haven't leveled up yet. Well, I have, but not so far in this playthrough. But once I do level up, there's this extremely impressive skill tree. So this is just the area of where I started off. This is my class goes off more spells and ranged, so intelligence and then dexterity is my sort of class, and then there's also strength. But I can expand along here, and I'm just going to check to make sure I'm not being hit by anything. Alright, because for some reason the game doesn't actually pause whenever you go in these different inventory slots, or even if I hit escape to pause the game, it won't actually pause it. But nonetheless, I'll just show this off. So I can pick 10% increased spell damage. I've already done that, and I've kind of gone along dexterity and equally the spell. So it's kind of ranged and then magic. I've gone equal, but I can zoom out. This is the entire thing. It is just massive. It's not as confusing as it looks. It starts you off, say, if I had a different class, it would start me either any one of these different face slots, I guess is what they look like. And if I start off with a strength class, then I'd have the ability to unlock strength or dexterity first. Intelligence wouldn't be one of the main things to go off of. But if I really wanted to, it would take a long time, but I could end up going all the way around the tree if I really wanted to broaden my class and kind of have a catch-all class rather than a specific set of qualities. I could go maybe through intelligence and then go all the way around to the top of the chart here and branch around in there rather than just sticking with what my class was designed to do, which really gives a broad range of what my class will be and really makes it a lot more interesting later on in the game, and you don't necessarily have to make a whole new class to be able to get new abilities. All classes, not just the spell-based classes, use mana. The mana is your special attacks. Whenever you use that, it drains your mana, so it's not just spells. If I were to use the poison arrow or the multi-shot arrow, that also changes, that also decreases the mana. So right there, that guy was a bit more of a, not really a boss, but he was a stronger opponent, so he had much more drops. The drop system is kind of hard to pick up sometimes. Like you might have to zoom in some more and then kind of go over what you want, but it's a bit awkward, and you might end up picking up something you don't want, especially since it's a click to move kind of game. But I can enable or disable the letters and the label for the different items. I can enable that or disable it, but I like to have it on just because some items are so small and the camera angle is farther away, it's hard to see what you're actually getting or what you might find that you didn't see before. So I'm just going along this beach. This is like I said, the original starting area, but I'll try to make my way to another point where there's a different enemies. I think actually I was going the right way and just turned around. Each area has different enemies. This is the dunes and has those kind of crabs, humans, and then some drowned undead. But if I want to, I can move along here. I think I'm going the right way now. And yeah, and then I can go to mud flats. So you have to click on the door and then you'll enter that new area. But considering that the areas are so big, the loading screens aren't too bad, and they have a bit of tips like most games. So I go along here and they have a waypoint set up so I can see exactly where I'm going. That's the shore encampment is the town, and it also has a little symbol around it which shows that that's where my quest information is. That's where I need to go back to. But it doesn't actually show your person moving, it just shows the person in the area that you are now, and then you'll have to resort back to your little somewhat confusing translucent map to be able to tell where you are in your zone. So the mud flats really change up the whole look of the thing. It's really amazing how much the zones differ in appearance, and then there's also some more enemies. There's always the basic enemy, like these things, the Rhoda, I think they're called. These are the most basic ones. You can usually hit them with one hit, but there's slight variations in them as well. Then there's also undead, which are a little bit more powerful, or not much more powerful, but it varies up as you go along. It's not just the same mob, which is nice to see in a game. You're not just killing the same thing over and over again. Now, as I go along, some more chests, and these chests have a little bit different drops. It's a different area. This is the rusted spike, and it does 4 to 10 damage, so it's not that much better than what I actually have. Speaking of that, I think I'm just going to change to shorter ranged weapons just to show this off some more. And I can also do a quick change and go to a sword, say, instead of these sharp tooth claws. But actually, I found a this is another gem, unleashes a burning ball of fire, and so I think I'll equip that with my spikes, or my spike claws, and I can move around while the inventory is open. So that's even though it doesn't pause it, I can kind of run away and see what I have in my inventory at the same time. Alright, so now if I hit T, it does a ball of fire at the enemy, and that's because of the gem I have equipped on my claw. So here, I don't even know why I have this fire quiver here anymore, but if I wanted to, I could also equip that instead of the lightning quiver, and easily just change up the way I play, and not have to worry about a whole weight system dragging me down. It's just the more valuable items actually tend to be the smaller items, the certain gems. They're small, but then the two-handed weapons are the heavier ones, and they take up a lot of room. So I'm not really sure. I haven't played as another class, but your inventory might be a different size. I doubt it, but that's possible. The different items also have you have to have certain skills. Like I said earlier on, you might have to have different dexterity or different strength to be able to use them. My class, since it's a lightweight, fast-moving class, I can use two-handed weapons. Well, I can, but not very easily. So I'd have to expand my tree skill and kind of go all the way back around in the opposite direction of where my class originally designed me to go to be able to use different weapons. But I could if I wanted to, which is the cool thing about this game. It really allows for more diverse play. So that's about all I wanted to say about this game. I might, of course, think of something after I end this video, but I'm going to end it here. If you enjoyed watching this, if you think that this is a good game, if you think this is a bad game, or if you like my commentary, please leave a like and a comment and maybe even subscribe. Thanks for watching.